No randoms.
The single best example of the power of gaming and commerce is Travis Scott's 2020 Astronomical event. From April 23rd to 25th, Travis debuted a one-of-a-kind musical journey inspired by his Cactus Jack creations built from the ground up in the Fortnite video game. The gaming event was covered by more than 50 media outlets and reportedly generated 27.7 million unique players. 46 million participation, right? 46 million participations in-game, which means obviously some of them doubled up almost twice, and well over 100 million plus views on secondary channels like YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram Live. The event was a concert that featured products from Jordan and Cactus Jack that were sold both in the digital and physical world. The in-game Cactus Jack loot pack sold for $15 and was already immediately the fourth most popular Fortnite skin ever. And the IRL product offering on CactusJack.com completely sold out of what he called tour merch, featuring apparel, action figures, vinyl records, skateboards, and so much more. The in-game concert also premiered the track The Scots, featuring Kid Cudi, which subsequently topped the charts and broke Spotify's 2020 record for most streamed track in its first day of release, with 7.45 million streams. Researchers at Pandora informed Polestar that in the week following the Fortnite concerts, Travis became the service's second most added artist station, jumping 163 spots. His streams increased 124%, and his artist station ads increased 540%. Even as all industries really grappled with the effects of COVID-19, right? This is in April of 2020. The gaming space continued to open up new possibilities.
Cha-ching!
Wow.
Welcome to the No Randoms podcast. You got your boy Kev.
Got your boy Anton.
And J-Vo. Mr.
And
J-Vo.
There he is. One more time.
Gang, gang. Twitch.tv/Mr. J-Vo. Catch me when I'm streaming, when I feel like streaming.
Be on there. Right. And this week we're going to explore the most exciting deep dive yet for a marketing nerd like myself, what gaming means to business. So, you guys heard all that, my little preamble there on Travis. Travis's Astronomical event might be the very best of what brands can accomplish through gaming, but there are millions of meaningful transactions that happen every day, and I believe a comprehensive understanding of this landscape is crucial. It's needed for cultural relevance and eventually for many brands' survival, right? I think they need this to survive. So I wanted to start there by setting the scene of like, this is what it could look like, right? Again, if I didn't paint the picture in a beautiful way, Travis Scott, he launched a concert series through the Fortnite game. And you guys know Fortnite's a free game. It's available on all consoles, of course on PC. At the time, it was available on mobile as well, which was really impactful, right? So he had this first of its type. We know Ariana's done it now, and Marshmello, and so many. But at the time, this was the first of its kind. It was a concert experience and really special. He didn't just do it one time, like you had to be there. Because again, this is a global experience, right? So I think he did 6 or 7 of them. So like for us, we could do it at 4 p.m. Pacific, and then there would be another one 3 hours later, and another one a few hours later. And it's that same lobby, right? So it was so much fun to get to do it with your friends, just like you load up into a VR. I don't know if you guys did it at the time. You're not big Fortnite guys, but you load up into the lobby with your friends, just like we would in a party, and then you go to the concert together. So like you're in there and you're running around with your homies and the skins you chose. So like you get dressed for this concert and you get to go experience it. Truly amazing, and for certain the best single example of all that can be accomplished. But to explore all those details, we're gonna take some time and walk through them one by one.
Let's get it.
Yo, meet me at the Fortnite concert. My new NFT Balenciaga Fortnite hoodie, dog.
I'm just so many opportunities.
Let me get
So much room for opportunities. Man.
All right. Back into the fun stuff. This will be cool too, Anton. You should enjoy it. To explore how important gaming has already become for brands in today's age, we'll lean heaviest on the ever popular basketball lifestyle franchise. That's what I'm calling it now. basketball lifestyle franchise NBA 2K to help dimensionalize what gaming is doing for products and services. Marketing, media, and membership. We love an alliteration. And then finally, sales and supply. So we'll keep that right going. Jeez, I'm such a marketing guy. Look at all this. Whatever. So our first pillar here, products and services. Anton, I'm going to need you to keep me up on the 2K. Because, all right, so to be honest, I haven't played the new one.
Oh.
You guys know that?
20% off right now. I haven't played either, but I know it is 20% off at the moment right now. So
I'm gonna need to.
Might just have to dive in.
You guys saw they just launched that. I want to cover it in our topics episode, but they just launched Arcade Edition. You can play 2K on like Apple TV and iOS. We'll get to it.
Ooh,
Yeah, no, right?
Did not know
They're
that.
getting there, but that's my point. Because as we dig into some of these details, Anton, as the one that's played the latest version, feel free to jump in and school me on some of the developments. So cool. Pillar 1, products and services. So looking at NBA 2K, right? IRL and NBA 2K. Oh, in real life and in NBA 2K, products are king, right? Like I got myself. Boomers.
My ass.
We just had IRL, LOL.
Not that guy.
Oh boy.
Let me be cool, fam.
I already love it.
So, right. In real life and in NBA 2K, products are king, and gaming opens up incredible doors to the product space that we've truly never imagined. This one's super easy. Imagine the product creation process, if you will. It's something you guys know I live around, but sometimes we don't spend time to just imagine it, right? So look at that product creation process. There are exhaustive methods to identify what, like, I'm thinking Snkrs first, what silhouettes, sizes, colorways, and components consumers desire, and it's a constantly moving target. This is it's not just in sneakers or in fashion. This is also present in really all industries. So in food, or I think, in my experience, in the music industry. We're always trying to figure out, and we being brands, all the brands, we spend so much money trying to figure out what people want. Who's hot? What are you guys going to listen to? If we put this artist there, is it going to go up? Right? We all know about like the Coil Ray thing at whatever concert that was. Rolling Loud.
Rolling Loud, yeah.
Had to have been Rolling Loud, right? Gosh, look at we are 30. We're like, what's that cool thing the kids do at Rolling Loud?
We outside.
We outside. How was that like?
We outside.
Out there at EDC, okay? I was there. But right, so when we're thinking products and we're thinking of what music they want. So Coil Ray, right? They put her out on stage, and then the audience was not feeling it. That's somebody who had the insights, somebody who was booking that made a mistake. Like, they believed that was going to work. They believed we were going to put it out there, it was going to be great, and everyone was going to be excited, and it ended up going backwards for them. It actually hurt the brand that is Rolling Loud, right? And the same thing happens with again, going back to sneakers, another space that I know intimately. We spend so much money trying to pick a colorway that we'll put into the market, and most often you won't even find out it doesn't work until it's too late. So what happens to a product in the marketplace that doesn't hit? Liquidation. You have to try and get rid of it or sell it for something. So, you have this whole mix of what it costs to create a product and a price point you're going to sell it at that will help you make back the profit to justify creating that product. And then that all goes out the door when you can't sell. So we do all this work to try and guesstimate. And the truth of the matter is that brands are terrible at this. Like, it's just such a hard task. It's near impossible. You'll see it again. I used to say this all the time in the record industry. If labels knew what to do, they'd do it. Right? Like, if labels knew how to hit the go button or turn the switch and make someone cool, I promise you they would do it. They don't know. The fact is they have no idea how to make it happen. It's such a difficult, culturally complex and moving target. The evidence proves that this just doesn't work. If you look at a record label, for every 100 artists that they have on, signed to the label, 95 of them are just going to get dropped and you'll never hear of them. And it's like, man, go do something else. That is a shockingly terrible success rate.
Yeah.
So, bringing it back to what we can do here, right? So, gaming and gaming culture takes so much of the guess out of this guesswork. Again, looking at a game like NBA 2K, 2K allows us to pressure test potential products with real consumers in real time, right? That moving target. We can shoot right at it. We can live where the target lives. And I'm thinking sneakers here, because again, in 2K, we can do so much more than which colorway works best or which model is most exciting, right? You can imagine we put 6 versions of a sneaker into the sneaker store on 2K in 6 different colorways, and you just go see which one sells best. Make that sneaker. Like, do that one, right?
Simple. It sounds like. Yeah.
It's that simple. And again, you're not just putting it out with people. Like, you know, you do these, like, people used to do focus groups, which are terrible. Focus groups are such a bad idea. Like, it doesn't make sense at all. But they used to do focus groups, and you'd grab a group of people and, like, try to guess how the consumers feel about it. Imagine with something like NBA 2K as an example, the people in there actually wear basketball shoes. They actually buy basketball sneakers. Like, it's the basketball community. It's not just people. It takes the guesswork out of it. You get to get your consumers where they shop in their territory to make their real decisions.
Yep.
Right? So it takes all the guesswork. It's incredible. It goes on and gets further, right? So beyond, you know, figuring out which colorway works best or which model is most exciting, we could even start to figure out exactly how to price our products. And that, for me, is insane. But imagine a shoe that sells well at 150 VC, but not at 250 VC, will behave in the exact, right? It will behave in the exact same way in the real marketplace.
Yeah.
Maybe we can't put it at this premium price point, but maybe we can put it down here or right here, and this is where it will sell. Imagine you make a product, colorway hits, silhouette hits, people love it, and they want it. Just not for that much, which we've all been there, right? Oh, I like this, but not for that price. Imagine if we could build that in from the start. This is some of the information we can get from gaming. And even just one more to tack on to when we're talking products, we can make products that are out of this world. So sometimes when I go and I talk to designers, right, and when the opportunity does present itself, and I'm like, hey, also take this opportunity to push it. Like, push it. Whatever you think of, we can do here. Like, you know, maybe you think of engineering, some structures don't work, or this would be terrible on the human foot. We couldn't walk, or we couldn't play in that. Remember, Yeezy's trying to break into the basketball industry a few years ago.
Yeah.
And it was like, you going to play in that shoe? Right? And there's been other moments in the NBA where really hype players will come in like a cool shoe, but it's like, bro, you can't play in that.
No.
Out the door. Completely out the door here, right? You could play in Crocs, play in clogs, whatever you want to do here, completely out the door. You could design things that could never exist in real life. So, from the product standpoint and product creation process, gaming changes everything.
If you don't mind, Kev, that, like, I was just thinking, man, like, all the shoes that I purchase on 2K, like, I'm not purchasing just to look silly. Like, I'm dressing myself in that game. I'm trying to, like a lot of those fits, those sneakers that I pick, those are the exact shoes that I would wear. It's never anything that's
or have already.
Yeah. So, like,
could you imagine being at, like, Nike and, like, I'm going to sell to this person, I'm going to sell them the same shoe twice. I'm telling you, from a salesman perspective, I'm like, this is nuts. I could sell it to them. Because from the brand perspective, once we've created that desirability, we've done our job. You want it. You want it, right? The Travis Scott Jordan 6 or whatever. You want it. However you can get it, you want a piece of that.
Yep.
Cool. We've done our job. We've made it hype. We've made it desirable. Now, where and how do you go and get that? That's what's evolving.
You know, if you don't mind to add into that, because I was thinking, like, whenever I get shoes on 2K, I don't even go to the store and, like, buy them at, like, Nike or, like, what is it? What do they call in the game? Swags, whatever. I literally make my own shoes. So it's kind of funny you say that, because I'll go to the shoe editor and just take my time on just like a base shoe and create like my own one, and then from there go into the game and then wear that shoe. So if there was a way, I think that if like you could almost like how like the Nike ID, I'm thinking like if you could like upload your design from like the game and then have like a rate for that from like that would be pretty.
That'd be pretty cool, bro.
We're getting there too. Don't let me forget that. It'll come up at the end of this, and I want you to bring that back up. But also, I mean, geez, imagine when you're trying to sort. That opens up so many new doors for designers themselves, right? For ways to make it up. Imagine you do. Here's a cool activation. Here's a free one. We put out the design. You let the designers go nuts with, I'll use an Adidas example. The Adidas Forum is a sneaker that the brand's working now. It's a blank, white. It comes in all shapes and sizes.
I got 3 pairs.
White leather shoe. Yeah, white leather shoe, 3 stripes. Like, you can do whatever you want to do with it, like an Air Force One. So, design competition. Adidas Forum. Go nuts. We're going to put, we'll select 100 designs to put into swags for a weekend. Mm-hmm. And whichever one gets purchased the most, we're going to create in real life. Mm-hmm. And I keep talking to brands about the difference. They always want to do this thing where they take products that we have and put them in the game. Like, oh, that's kitschy, that's cool. And I'm like, no, you're doing it backwards.
Yeah.
Start in the game and pull it out of the game. Grow the affinity. Put it where you know we're going to be. Create something that we have a relationship with. And then it's like, hey, you got a real one of those?
Yeah.
We've seen people do that, right? With like Apex heirlooms. Where those guys like literally go and they 3D print and metal cut these like weapons from a game. That's like, what are you doing with that ninja sword?
Cool,
you ain't cutting it. But it's just, you just pulled it from the game. It's something you use or you engage with every day, and over time that creates value, right?
You know how much you could probably sell that for too?
Dude, this into and out of it relationship, right? We have to really learn and explore, and we will here. We have to learn and explore that in the IRL relationship, right? Into the game and then out of the game is really exciting. But they're blending together like never before. We'll definitely end there.
Yes.
But before we get too far away, exciting. So products, but in business, you don't just sell products. You sell products and services, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'm just giving you something. Sometimes I'm just giving you my time. And so another exciting thing about gaming is it is a really fun way and opens up doors for us to create products out of services, if that makes sense, right? So traditionally, the first thing I think of is practice. So for this one, we'll depart from 2K for a moment. Are you guys familiar with Aimlab?
Yeah, I actually have that.
Right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Aimlab, a free first-person shooter training platform built by gamers and neuroscientists, available on Steam. Aimlab is being used by over 20 million players, from beginners to esports pros. Their unique aim analysis optimizes your gameplay, targets your weaknesses, and builds key skills for any FPS, TPS, that's first-person shooter, third-person shooter, game, all for free. So, it's video game practice, right?
Yep, I use that as warm-ups right before I drop into like battle royales or shooters. It's pretty funny.
Right.
Get like a good couple minutes in.
It's important. Just like sports, you get some shots up before you get out there, get dialed in, see where you're at. We've got to get a warm up in. We all do that before you go ranked. So when we're looking at this is practice. So imagine, right, when we look at traditional sports, and I use you guys know Chris Brickley. He's in NBA 2K.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. So you go and you get a trainer, and you have to pay this trainer, nutritionist. That's what we pay them for, is this service. We could cook for ourselves. We could work out for ourselves. But we want your tutelage. We want your guidance. Even on Peloton, I need you to curate this and tell me what to do and guide me along these different experiences. So when we're looking at that practice, what gaming in the metaverse, right, allows us to do is actually load this into a program. So think of something like Aimlab as your Chris Brickley for Call of Duty. But now Chris doesn't need to be there. So if you're the Chris of Call of Duty, your business is limited by the amount of hours in the day. I can train Mello and Trey, and maybe Braun wants to get going. How many can you do in one day, right? Also, what if those guys, who knows if those guys get along together? Who knows where they're located? Can you be with all of them at the same day? But gaming, of course, changes everything. Chris, again, this is a bad example, maybe a good example. Imagine if Chris loaded himself into a program, and he was Aimlab. Right? And then it's like, here, you can get me, I'm handing a disc, geez, like a floppy disk, right? Like, you can download essentially me and my training, and you can go practice with me on your schedule where you are at any time, and get your own bespoke platform to use, right? That makes you, like this said in Aimlab, the unique aim analysis optimizes your gameplay, targets your weaknesses, and builds key skills, right? So now you're not just going to practice. We've all been to sports practice where you're there and like heaven forbid you're better than the other kids on the team or other people on the team. We can't spend time just coaching you, right? Unfortunately, you're going to get pulled down a little bit. We've got to coach the team. This is how things like AAU develop, etc. In this digital space and in gaming, there's this new world where we can truly created these services out of products where we can load them and give you the benefit of our time or our decision making or our insights, and we don't need to be there.
Super solid.
Very excited about that one.
All I kept thinking, I don't know, I get too ahead because for me, I think of like where like the VR is going to be and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't know, imagine like I'm thinking of like flying. You know what I mean? Imagine you're flying and you can like log into like a VR or something and still just go in and get like your shots in or something, or play a game or be able to run around. Like that's going to be, it's making me sick.
Bro, it's just like flying planes, like we talked about, driving cars, even surgeries, right? These days, it's like, where do I go and get the practice in? It's a pretty quick jump from the race car guys learning the F1 tracks to like heart surgery. It's not far, but where can you get that practice in? Where there are some of these things we do where it's like it's either time's on the line or your life is on the line, and the ability to practice in real time and hone those skills without needing so many other people. Again, even if you want to practice, football or even just basketball, who's going to kick the ball back to you? Are you going to rebound after each shot, for yourself? So being able to build this service in is and take that additional resource or additional person's time out of it, it puts the ability into the person, the player, or the developing individual's hands. So again, the service is really exciting, and it can go so much further than sports. It could become therapy. It's the first thing I think about. What if you could build a therapist into an algorithm, right? Or you could load into a video game and go and sit with your therapist for that. Just riffing on ideas. It gets really exciting. Won't stay for too long because we're ready for pillar number 2. Marketing, media, and membership.
I'm a big fan of AR, by the way.
Oh man, that's right.
Because like it's like, yeah, it's no different. You know what I mean? I'm just imagining like being in your open space in the backyard, throwing on some glasses. You have these like gloves on, and imaginary hoop. But you can see it through your lenses because it's brought to you. But I'm a big fan of AR over VR.
Even if like right now it's like, oh, that gets kind of hard. What if it was just playing defense? Like it's like how do you get the weight of the ball, and how do you make true. Yep. I'm in the backyard playing defense.
Yeah.
Be careful though. You don't want to slide drill into the wall or something.
Which way you gonna go?
I did just buy or download Flight Simulator also, so you might see your boys out here in American Airlines in the next couple of years.
I'm so here for it. Please become our Flight Simulator.
It's on upside down.
That's a big Geer. If you see the light on, make sure your seatbelts are
on.
All right.
Okay, all right. Marketing, media, and membership. Bear with me. So marketing, I used to do this in my career in marketing. It's always so tricky, and you hear people like, oh, those marketing guys, it's all marketing. Like, do you know what that means? What are you talking about? Like you say it like it's a bad thing. So I've heard this question asked a million times. It's always a different answer. But my favorite answer to like what is marketing is communicating the value of your products or services, but communicating the value of what you do, right? So here's my billboard. I make a cozy hoodie, right? My goal there is to communicate to you the unique selling proposition, USP, of my product. So like my product is cool, it's cozy, and this person wears it, so you want to wear it, right? You're like communicating the value. If we sign a brand partner and I put this hoodie on Bad Bunny, we're saying, hey, look, Bad Bunny likes our brand. You like Bad Bunny. You see how there's value there? The things that you like, that were the things we've communicated the value, right? So no matter what we're doing, whether it's showing how this shoe makes you faster, how this jacket keeps you warmer, how this hat makes you look cooler, marketing is always communicating the value. I'm explaining to you why you want this product more than you want a competitor's product.
Sweetie meal.
That's so sweet. Bro, I'm trying to get some of that hottie sauce right now.
I've heard.
I'm low-key tight when now I don't even know what to eat. If I can't get the Travis or the Sweetie, like, what do I get here? I don't even...
Yeah. The hottie sauce.
I love it so much. The hottie sauce is great. We got to talk about that. But okay, we're going to go back to NBA 2K to talk marketing, which should be obvious and easy. Anton, I know you'll get this immediately. We're going to talk about the city, right? So in NBA 2K, There's a reason I call it a basketball lifestyle game to basketball culture game, because you do play basketball, you play in stadiums and in the NBA, but you also get to play in what's called the park and exist in what's called the city. So complete with billboards, retail stores, branded basketball courts, and a rotating cast of influencers, right, like the players. There's this entire mini metaverse set against their curated soundtrack, so they even get to pick the music that's there, right? Like, what's the soundtrack of basketball this year? Even the wait staff at these 2K restaurants are wearing real products. Like, brands are everywhere. It's a real city. Anton, do you have anything to say about what it looks like now?
Yeah, I was gonna let you finish, but
No,
yeah, I mean, they added a whole new like role playing aspect into it, where like, I mean, if you can spend hours of time not even playing basketball, honestly, and just be doing these side quests of becoming now like a fashion icon, like pushing your own brand, doing like what are those things, like walkways, like fashion shows and things like that, like in the game. Or you can become like a music artist now. They I believe it's Columbia Records they have a deal with.
Really?
Yeah, so every season they update the soundtrack with whatever the new hottest music is, instead of it just being the same songs for a year.
Right.
And then you can like go into music like record, you go into the studio, you make songs. So it's like they added these whole, like you said, it's a whole other experience besides even basketball now. It's like building your own brand and becoming an icon on top of like a basketball legend.
Right.
Okay.
It's an open world game, and they want you to experience not just what it's like to be an NBA pro, like on the court. They want you to experience what it's like to be an NBA pro, to have, and you get to earn endorsement deals. You get to choose your sneaker brand, Gatorade bottles, and you get to go to parties, and you have your own agent, right? They want you to experience. It's a simulation, right?
You
experience
push Dwight
what
Howard
this
down.
might be like. Right? Push Dwight down. That was, oh man. Come on, Lakers. All right, we got to turn it around now.
Keep it going. Yeah.
I've never seen Dwight look so small before.
My
Like,
Lancer, brother.
bro.
I mean, so fragile.
Put AD at the 5. Put him at the 5. You heard it. But that's the idea, right? So brands are everywhere. It's a brand. It's a marketing dream. It's this crazy marketplace. Or as soon as you load in, from the moment you load in, from before you load in, it's brand after brand after brand, experience after experience after experience. And again, everyone is in there trying to communicate the value of their products, right? We're all trying to say, you want to pick us, and this is why. So a great example of how one brand is using their relationship, their identity with basketball culture to continue to drive home their unique sales position again within the game is Gatorade, right? And their USP.
Gatorade. I haven't heard that in like 20 years.
Why, boy? But right, so Gatorade, and that's their USP. What they call themselves is the world's #1 sports drink. So how do they communicate that? And I can see you guys already smiling. They do a great job in the NBA 2K. They've got a couple of different ways or methods through which they authenticate there, but it's all tied into the same thing, and it's pretty great. They pull it out of the game as they get there. So to start, they have in the city, and Anton, I assume this is still there. They have the Gatorade gym. Is that still there?
Yeah.
So they have this gym, right, where so you're an NBA pro and you have games on the calendar and you have practice sessions. What you do is before practice or before games, you can go and work out in the Gatorade gym. They have little challenges, and it earns you boosts for the game. That's correct, Anton?
Right. So to kind of jump in really quick, like for example, they have like sprints. So if you do sprints, like it's like, say you have to click your left and right stick, like, repeatedly back and forth. And then when you get to the end, before you turn around, you have to click square, So that's, you have to go back and forth. And depending on how fast you do it, like there's like a time frame, you get rated on stars 1 to 3. So if you get 3 stars, you get, +3 to your speed category. If you're doing box jumps and you hit the 3, you get +3 to your jump, so forth, and I believe there's 5. It's like speed, stamina, strength, jump, and so forth. So yeah, so there's it's a whole gym where you do the workouts, and then that adds to like a boost. You get like a workout boost for the whole week, depending on how good you do.
And you have to do it. And you have to do it. It's something that you can't just bypass.
You actually don't have
right?
to. You don't have to do it.
Well,
but it's specific. It just helps you when you do it.
Oh, okay. I thought it actually helps you, like, in order to get certain attributes boosted up, you have to go work out. No? Okay, cool. So it's just boosting.
And I'm really happy you asked that too, though, because that's the point, right? And I'm really happy you said that, because that's what Gatorade is trying to say here, right? When you drink Gatorade, you become a better athlete. That's the USP, right? That's what they're trying to communicate at all times. Whatever they're doing at all times through marketing, right? But they're creating a product. All their marketing efforts are this: when you drink Gatorade, you're better at sports. That's it. So how do we go about communicating this? Well, you just explained a really great mechanic through which they do that. And again, it's not just a one-time thing. This is a benefit. It's a benefit that comes for this week or this game, which is what they want you to feel in real life. It's not just buy Gatorade one time. No, they want this to become part of your routine. Before you play, you drink Gatorade, right? So they built that into the game in a really special way by rewarding you where you go, with a mechanic that's true to their culture, community, and again, basketball community. It goes further. They also have now an in-game endorsement, just like in real life, where once you perform to a certain level, and I imagine once you engage with them enough, you can unlock more benefits, right? So it's an endorsement where, just like in real life, you would have Gatorade benefits, Gatorade products. You might appear in Gatorade advertisements and work with their brand as their team, but also you get paid by Gatorade, right? The better you play and the more you do and the more exposure you earn from them, the more benefit you get in the game. There's a mechanic in there, right, in real life, where you can achieve an in-game endorsement by Gatorade, where they've signed on to your brand. You get an added, because you get paid like in game bucks, VC, after you perform in each game, I believe. Right. So again, really exciting. So they unlocked this in-game endorsement, and they tied that to an the IRL thing. They tied this to an IRL product offering, right? So once you achieve the in-game endorsement, what you can do is now you get a discount on, I can't believe this is working, a customized Gatorade water bottle. So you get to customize it in-game, and you can receive one. It's not even free. You have to buy it. It's like $25 and you can get it for $20. But once you achieve the Gatorade endorsement, now you're a Gatorade athlete. You can now have your customized, in the game, your customized water bottle sent to you in real life.
That's awesome.
And incredible, because the product, this whole marketing cycle of them communicating to you, right? They've now taken you from, here's a way that you can maybe get better at your basketball game that's not necessarily even real, through these arcade methods that's just entertaining and engaging with you. But if we get you into our funnel, for those of you that come in and start to engage with this, we want to pull you all the way deep and take it as far as we can. So for those that have the appetite and that Gatorade resonates with, it starts with going to that gym, moves through getting that endorsement, and ends in this real life product situation, right? Where they're buying that new Gatorade water bottle that you put the little pods in. So you continue buying more and more Gatorade. And now when that person goes to the gym where they go play basketball, what do? Gatorade. It's the product marketing process lives right in the game. And Gatorade's doing a better job than just about anyone.
They even go as far as to add, not even with the workout, but if you go to the Gatorade store in the back of the Gatorade gym, they have Gatorade boosts that you can pay to buy on top of the boost that you get from working out that add to that. So they go.
And what can you buy at the Gatorade booth?
It's like the fruit shoes, like the Gatorade shoes, the Gatorade drinks or something or another. Drinks. And that gives you an extra boost on top of the workout boost.
Gatorade.
And now you know what products they make. Because I haven't seen all, I think I've seen like somewhere the fruit juice and all, and I haven't played competitive sports in 15 years, you know what I mean? But now, again, I was telling you at the trip last night, we're watching the Lakers game, and you were like, oh, who's at the 5? And I'm like, I forget you know basketball now. Because we grew up and that wasn't your thing. And you started playing 2K, and you interact with the sport now, but even with a brand, right? When we're talking about marketing and communicating the value of our products, what about communicating that a product exists? Now you know there's fruit chews and bars and drinks and pods and this is all what they're landing through the game, because we would have no idea without it, right? Because we've fallen out of their target market. I don't play competitive sports. I don't really drink sugary drinks, but I spent 20 minutes talking about Gatorade today, and that's because of what they do in the game, right?
Yeah.
No randoms.
Yo, Javo.
Oh, okay.
What's up?
Go ahead and download that Far Cry, dog.
Yeah. What's the last one you played though? Did you play 5?
I want to say I did.
Yeah. Okay. That's the last one I did play. I'm thinking about. I'll be honest. I'm thinking about 2K. Like hearing this, because like the only thing that's kept me from it. But again, like I don't have much of a community on there, so I wouldn't be playing in the park as much, anyways. But I do know that there's a lot of cheaters on the PC world, so that's the only thing that makes it a little bit more difficult going into like the park or the city. Is there's a lot more cheaters, I believe. Like I remember seeing guys walking around look like avatars, bro. Dead ass, like super long
modders.
arms. It's
the
weird,
modders, bro.
It's weird. Yeah, modding like crazy. It's like they don't have like anti-cheat. So, but I don't mean if I'm playing just the regular game mode, like just a career, and hearing this stuff, like I keep getting more and more intrigued, bro. And again, 20% off.
I know about the cop.
Yeah.
All right, we'll look at looking at media. So when we talk media, gaming is maybe the most important landscape to explore in 2021. Gaming is at the height of relevance. It reaches the highest percentage of Gen Z and millennials versus any other passion point. We spend more time gaming than we do listening to music, engaging with film or television, or playing sport. So that means gaming is where the biggest relevance gap exists, and brands should be taking notice, right? If we spend the most time there, that means your biggest opportunity to connect again with Gen Z and millennials who are spending money right now is right where they exist. So there are 3.5 billion consumers on social media, and we spend around $93 billion globally on advertising to them every year. There are 2.6 billion consumers playing video games, and we spend just $4.5 billion advertising to them. Just numbers. What that means is that while gamers measure at 74% the audience size of social media, they garner just 5% of the advertising investment. The opportunity is incredible there. It's like brands just don't get it. We're spending all this money on social media. Again, like if it's one for one, we're spending all this money on social media, which is most frequently a one-way message, right? Sometimes people respond, I guess, but nothing like what we just discussed with Gatorade. You don't get to interact and live with a brand like you can in gaming, right? Or in the metaverse. So when you look at this, it's like this 5% of the advertising investment is like, oh my God, what an upscale, what an upside to start to work into this space, right? When you want to communicate to people, this is where they are.
Yeah.
So, right, the opportunity is massive, and it goes beyond billboards. So this one's short and easy. It's not just the billboards or the cover of the game or traditional advertising spaces, right? You look at the city in NBA 2K, and there's 50 billboards in there. That's what's called digital out-of-home. So, like, billboards are called out-of-home, like you're out of the house. Out-of-home advertising, and then digital out-of-home normally is like it's a digital screen. But that means you can rotate it, right? You can't just flip a billboard that easy. You have to go and paste it up. It takes money and time. So when you pay for a traditional billboard, I'm buying that spot for 3 weeks, for 3 months, for a period of time. Digital out of home, we can rotate. I could change it at any time. Even if I put the wrong image up there, I could change the image and throw it back up. So you can imagine it opens up this whole new world where you can now sell one billboard to 10 people. You can have it on Monday. You can have it on Tuesday nights, right? You can split it up. That exists in a really special way in gaming, but it gets even better and even beyond that, right? Because when you think about the amount of time, I can't wait for brands to figure this out. You think about the amount of time that we spend just looking at loading screens or watching animations, right? Think about, it's even become a cosmetic. So I'll try and explain this concept. It's obvious to you guys. So in gaming, right, you have when you're loading into a lobby or whatever, you'll have a loading screen. You just have to wait, whether it's a minute or 30 seconds, whatever.
Yeah.
It's so ubiquitous that what games do now is they allow you to download and place and replace different loading screens, right? It's like a cosmetic, something else for you to enjoy looking at. Sometimes they're motion, sometimes they move, sometimes they don't. And we all know about games with the dreaded, like, non-skippable scenes.
Yes.
And my point being here that those 2.6 billion consumers, I can't even begin to quantify the human hours spent kind of just staring at a screen that we've already seen before, or watching content. Like, I've seen the load-in screen for some of my favorite games literally 5,000-10,000 times. Right? Think about some of the games where you know the songs, you know exactly what goes up next. Even the silly, like, here's this is, I just thought of this right now. In FIFA on pro clubs, before you go into a match, you know the little loading screen where they let you like go take a shot on goal.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of the whole time you were talking about this.
That's an incredible media opportunity to customize, because everybody does it multiple times a day if you want to play the game. So that's my idea, right? Is when do we start to look at this as an extremely captive and specifically pointed audience, right? Like we said before, there's not a kid that's into basketball culture that has access and is not playing NBA 2K. Imagine the possibilities. If you're a sport brand, if you could place your newest advertisement in the loading screen for NBA 2K. Now, everybody that plays basketball just saw your spot, your commercial, your advertisement. We spend so much time and money trying to get these in front of the right people. The platform exists. It's right there.
Yeah. Right in front of me.
It's media and gaming, it's got to get there.
It's funny you say that, because I have noticed a change in like loading. It has changed because of the speed of the devices now. So I've noticed it. If anything, it's kind of gone away. But like in games,
SSDs.
like 2K and stuff like that, they have like the 2K TV now in between like the loading screens and stuff like
right. that. That's such a great example. I'm so happy you said that, because it is. That's true media, and they're media spots that come from sports networks, Bleacher Report and ESPN, and they have their real anchors. And again, for what it's worth, it's cool, but that's mostly because we don't get it yet. Right? We're still trying to force old forms of media into new platforms that we just don't fully understand yet. But it's exactly that. That's exactly the opportunity for us to start to get in there. And you think, I was having this conversation with Fortnite a couple months ago. It didn't work out because, again, the ideas are too new. But I have a commercial with a really famous Fortnite player that's not necessarily about Fortnite, but, you know, it's about gaming. He's the most famous Fortnite guy on the planet. And I wanted to put, it's a 30-second spot. I wanted to put it at the loading screen. And here's an idea. Maybe your loading screen's only 5 seconds, and the commercial or the advertisement, the film, is 30 seconds. Cool. So you're allowed to skip it after 5 seconds. But if you want to stay and hang out. And I'm not saying put this on the game forever. Put it there for a week. Let me pay you to put it there for a week. Like, that's what I'm saying. Rather than having these as in-house guarded off spots, allow brands, like, please give us the opportunity to make it better, to make the experience better. Allow brands to pay you and treat your loading screen like a media placement, right? Because it's right there. It works the same way. Otherwise, we can just stare at the same screens. I think this is another thing that is bound to happen. If it's not happening somewhere right now, it's going to happen. I'm telling you, I've tried it already, and it just didn't quite get there.
Yeah.
It drives the incentive, too. I didn't mean to talk. It drives the incentive, too. Because honestly, like, if I knew that, like, if there was I mean, from what I can think of, like 2K and Ruffles always has, like, a partnership, you know?
Ruffles?
Like, say, yeah.
Yeah, I know they got that partnership with Anthony Davis.
Yeah. You know what I mean? How basketball players are getting their own chips now and stuff like that. Like, Jason Tatum got his, Anthony. Yeah. So, like, what if they did something like that? You know what I mean? Like, whoever wins this, whatever team wins this, whatever, like, we'll get you a position and hold that every other month or something like that. You know how much that would drive an incentive for one, that competition, but then also to drive players so that it works for itself.
Yeah, no, again, it's truly an incredible opportunity for us to start to lean into these things, and that's where we can communicate. And you think of, so when you're making these brand films, right? Like, I got a new film for X athlete, and then you're like, I'm going to have an activation, and then people are going to come back to our website so that they can learn more about, and like, nobody does that. Like, nobody does that. Nobody wants to do, like, athlete A, their mom isn't going to follow you back to your brand landing page to learn more about the profile of X. Like, oh my goodness. There are some marketing ideas, y'all, that come out that we're going to do that I'm like, I think the audience for that is actually 0. I don't think it's 10 or 20 or somebody in the globe. Literally, it will be people that work here, and that's it. Because nobody's going to go, who's looking for an extra profile or information on some player, and I'm going to go to some brand's website to do it. And then the thinking is like, and then when they come to our website, they'll also shop while they're there. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? That does not that does not happen.
In the 2000s, maybe the early 2000s, but that's outdated.
It's they take the mechanic from a store activation, right? We'll have you all come to our brand store, and while you're there, you might shop around. It is not the same thing. Like, it's It just doesn't work the same way. So communicate to people where they want to be communicated to about things they care about.
Yeah.
I want to see us get rid of the brand landing page. Take that it's the same content, but you create this content and it's like you're trying to get people who might care about this to go somewhere they would never go. If you're going to make the content for the people, go to where the people live. Duh. So, media's on the way. We're getting there. We're fighting the good fight. And I give that months before it starts to get really cracked. Certainly not years.
I mean, the way we've been podding, everything's been coming to life, bro.
So fast.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, we have to start to do this
wild.
now because it's happening around us. It's crazy. Really enjoyable. On to membership. So this one, originally I was going to do marketing and media. That's like traditional. Every brand is concerned with it. We all understand it. But something we talk about in business a ton is membership. So when we say membership, we mean signups, loyalty programs, everything under the CRM umbrella. And we can learn a ton from surprising places like the Battle Pass. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
When I was thinking about this, I was like, how does gaming relate to membership? And I thought of some cool... Either way, I sat with it for a while, and then the Battle Pass came to me like, oh my goodness. Duh. Like, that's where you can learn from. So, what is a Battle Pass? A popular monetization system made ubiquitous by Fortnite and Epic Games that offers players a chance to unlock in-game cosmetics, currency, and rewards simply by playing the game. Players gain experience points, which earn them levels that grant them rewards. As an option, players can also purchase levels, right? So rather than playing to get your experience points, you can just pay money to go ahead one. And you can also purchase what's called a premium battle pass. So it works exactly the same way. You can imagine the tier where you're evolving and getting new rewards as you get more experience.
Yeah.
Premium battle pass just gets you even better rewards and more experiences. So again, one of the most amazing membership programs I've ever seen, like anywhere. They've created this setting with rewards that is so exciting. Millions and millions of players spend their hard-earned cash on free games all the time. Like I've personally spent way more than $60 or $70 on Apex Legends, and it feels very much worth it. Right? What's your guys' experience with Battle Pass?
Oh my gosh, dude! Yeah, no. Well, actually, I wanted to follow up. If unless I'm mistaken, is like the Battle Pass and the Premium Battle Pass. The Premium gives you like extra levels, right?
Yeah, the Premium has a benefit of they like advance you an extra like 25 levels ahead.
Right,
so if it's like if you max out at 100, they'll give you the first 25.
Yeah,
good to know.
They give you like because the Battle Pass would be like to level 100, and they'll give you like a quarter of the jump. You know what I mean? On the
Premium.
Okay, so if you the regular battle pass, and again, this is free. Like if you just go play a free game, they're like, this is how you get rewards just by playing, and it goes 1 to 100. If you buy the premium battle pass, it goes 1 to 125, and they'll just gift you those first 25 levels. So we're gonna push you ahead a little bit, and it doesn't give you less experience or game time essentially because they tag it on to the back, and you also get different experiences. So like you get to level 50 on the regular battle pass. Maybe you get a gold star. You get to level 50 on the premium battle pass. You get a platinum star, right? Like it's a little bit different.
Yeah, and another thing that you can appreciate a lot about the battle pass is that what you pointed on is free games offer. A lot of these free games that are coming out are offering battle passes, and it's a way that you can contribute to that game. You know, if this game is free, you think, well, how are they going to make their money? And that's where these battle passes come. And another cool thing about it is you don't have to purchase it. So you might not like the game. You don't have to give your money to the game. You still can level yourself up in the game, but it'll probably take you a lot longer. And then back to that point, but then there's those people who love it, who really want this game to continue and live on. That's when you go ahead and contribute by buying these battle passes, and that's a beautiful thing about it. And to your point, Kev, when you said you donated more than like $60-$70 to Apex, but that's because we love that game. You know, that game is here. We're passionate about it, so of course we want to support it, and that's the way with these battle passes, which I think are awesome.
Right, it's simple. Like if you can identify your consumers, reward them where they spend their time. This is so simple, right? Membership is one of the most difficult perspectives or tasks to crack in the brand space. And when I'm observing, it's like, man, no one's doing it better than all of the battle passes, right? But again, it's about understanding your consumer. So quickly to bridge the gap here, it made me think of, what about, I think of fitness, right? That's the sport,
of course you
the
are.
Space I live in. I can see you thinking about it already. What if we had, I bet you they got it already. What if we had like a Peloton battle pass? Or like a running battle pass, right? Like we have running apps, right? We have like Runtastic, the Adidas running app. What if we could give you every month, just by running, you get X, Y, and Z rewards, right? You get just little small things, because we know what you do. We're giving you for free an app, a service that will help you do what you do. You can enjoy it. You don't need to give us any money or engage with us at all. Knock yourself out. You're going to be there. But if you're there for free, if you're going to be engaging, we might as well give you some rewards for how much you engage. Mm-hmm. And hey, by the way, if you're really into this and you want to spend some money, we can give you even better rewards. I mean, if you want, if something you're going to be competing in, and I don't think we mentioned this, but the Battle Pass resets. It's seasonal. So it goes for, right, it'll go for a month or 2 months. And then at the end of that Battle Pass, new season, new rewards, start over, back to level 0. What if you did this for, right, in Peloton or with your running apps? Right, that's the element of membership I don't think these brands understand, is how to effectively reward people where they go.
Yes,
and I'm like, man,
and keep us there because, or get us to sign up, because that is huge. Like, and that's something I was already thinking about. Is that's another thing we're starting to look at too in these memberships. Is not only about, okay, you're offering me a service that I can just walk into and use because I'm paying X amount of dollars a month, but yet, like, because I am paying X dollars a month, like, are there any benefits extra to that? And that is a huge selling point. So it is, you know, something that these games, like what, PlayStation, for example, right? You play a monthly membership, they give you 2 free games a month, right? It's well worth it.
Bro, let me up you one. On Xbox, actually, they have like the point system where every time you log in, you get points. If you do achievement in games, you get points.
What?
Like, literally, bro, it's like they
that.
just incentivize the hell out of you on there. Just anything you do on there, just involving game, even just being online, they give you points. And now it's like 5 points, you know what I mean? Right, like for uploading, doing whatever,
purchasing
completing
games,
a weekly quest,
digital,
playing a certain amount of games.
If you purchase games, if you purchase games on their store, do they give you points?
I don't know.
I know that happens on Steam. If I purchase games, they give me Steam points to use.
But like all those points.
Game Pass.
Right. But all of those accumulate to where you can actually use those points to like buy real life. I mean, granted, you know, so like for example, like they have like the Microsoft Store, and for like 3,000 or 5,000 of those points, you can buy like a Xbox controller. You know, but I mean, but you get 5 points every time you log in, just for logging on the Xbox. You know, and so each time you complete a game, you get a bunch of points, and so that's just like, you know what I mean. So in due time, or you know, if you want to use those points, then you can end up. So that's what I was thinking of when Kevin was talking about like these like sports apps with that. Like, what if they had a way to incentivize, like, oh, okay, you logged in, here's 5 points. Oh, you hit your personal goals that, you know, they have some sheet. Okay, here's an extra 10 points.
Just for being on our
your goals for the week. Here's 50 points. You know, and then all of those accumulate. Like, you can cash those in for either like your month off, or like to buy, like, you know, if they partner with a brand, you can use that for like a certain percent. Yeah. No, that's actually a really good idea.
Dude, here's the one-to-one. It's funny because you're saying like you can buy a new controller, and here's the idea: like, everyone's not going to play that far. Everyone's not super passionate gamers, and they're not going to play that many hours. That's fine. The point is, for those people that are, you must capture them. You must capture, know them, interact with them, and reward them, because those are going to be the biggest proponents of your brand, product, whatever it is that you do. So
exactly.
for the type of player, right? Those are the sounding boards you want. For the type of player that's going to accomplish that, they might need a new controller by the time they get there, right? It might be worn out. So you're keeping them going. I'm going to have to open up Controller Check pretty soon. I want to start to see y'all's controllers, see how dirty them white ones are.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
you know, I
that's
stay
right.
negro.
Look at this.
I stay negro.
We fresh, baby.
I stay negro, bro.
All right, I'll check again in 6 months.
Try me. I've had one the longest. Try me.
Oh, look at the flex.
I got clean hands. Anton said my hands stay clean.
But very quickly, here's the one-to-one jump. Running shoes. For the runner that is going to run and accomplish the running battle pass and get to a point where they need new running shoes, y'all. They're going to need them. Imagine if I complete the battle pass and I did so good, I run so much that the brand gave me their new running shoes. There it is. And again, just like we were saying, you know who you want to talk about this? I don't necessarily want the person that runs once or twice a month or like says they're a runner but doesn't really. I want the guy or the girl or the person that runs every single day. I want them, because they talk about running constantly. I want them to tell everyone in their community and everyone outside their community and anyone that can hear them in earshot, did you guys know I got these free shoes because I beat the battle pass and I have this badge and I have this hoodie, and did you guys know this is what I did? That's your best marketing.
Yeah,
legend status in 2K.
Right, walking around.
Predator status, Predator status in 2K or in Apex when they drop out with the Predator trail. Make it known. There's nothing you could do to purchase those shoes or that hoodie. You have to be a killer. You have to be ill. You have to run this many miles. You have to be that dope at Peloton. Give them something they couldn't buy. Membership. It's so important. And those, in turn, those members become they become fans for
dedicated
life. They will return and buy your products forever.
Invest.
Their kids will buy your products. Their neighbors will buy your products. Their best friends will buy your products. You can't purchase
guilty.
it.
I am guilty.
Here's a free one.
So important.
Make $100 shoes. The only way you can get them is if you hit it like in like a apps like Battle Pass, or like you hit their milestones or something like that. First 100 to do it, get the shoes.
Bro, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Let's go.
No randoms. Cool. So we're back. We'll hop into pillar number 3. We're almost there. Thank you guys for riding with me. Number 3, sales and supply. Right. So this is where it gets really sexy. No, this is a lot less sexy traditionally than something like product creation. Certainly, in my opinion, a lot again less sexy than marketing, but super important. And again, I think it can become special. So let's dive in. When we talk sales, it gets really exciting. I'm such a sucker. I'm such a sucker for exclusive products or like hype, right? J-Mo, we're just talking about this Kappa Phase hoodie.
Shit is hard,
Basically,
bro.
it has a corner on that, bro.
That shit is hard.
They're so good at Anton's hat right now. Like, we all live for hype is king in 2021, or queen, most important. So with gaming as the sandbox within which the metaverse communicates, it creates a really exciting product selling opportunity, and that is providing access while preserving authenticity. So we've actually talked about this already in our product segment there, but back to our friends at NBA 2K. So we live in a world today where there are so many, again, exciting products that consumers want that are, of course, unavailable to them, either just out of your price range or just not something you can achieve, not something you can get. I'm thinking location-wise or sellout-wise. So even if I want this new Jordan drop, and I've saved money for years, I've got the money, I'm ready on the day of the drop, I'm ready to do what it takes, but I live in Indonesia. What are you gonna do, right? Like, there are sometimes you can't come over it, or of course we know in today's Snkrs confirmed, right, this waiting room space where like you can't always get it. It might not, no matter what you do, even if you show up and you put in your time, it's just not available to you. And as a brand, at the next step, once you've created that desirability for a product, like we talked about before, people want this. I think of first like the Prada Adidas or the Dior Jordans. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The Dior Jordans?
You never saw those?
Yeah.
The Dior J's? Ooh, nigga.
Yeah.
Them shits are hard.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you. But, right, it's like the hottest shoes. I don't know if y'all saw, who was that? Wasn't that IT, Isaiah Thomas? That was like, yo, like, I'll give a signed jersey to anybody who can get me these Jordans. It's like, bro, if you can't, again, like, money can't necessarily buy some of these products, right? And again, as a brand, once you've created that desirability, you're tasked now with, did you see them?
Yeah, these Johns are going for 12,000.
Hey, yo.
What? 12,000.
Right, bro. And I'm telling you, you get it off Snkrs or whatever, and then the upsell is crazy because they're so desirable. And again, third time, brands are tasked with keeping that level high. You can create the hottest fashion sneaker, but if you make them available to everyone, it kills the hype. Like, exclusivity is what makes it special. It's about how difficult it is to get them as much as it is how dope the products are, right? Which is strange. It's this weird backwards, like, if you can create a product that everybody wants, great. Don't sell it to them, though, because then nobody wants it. It's like, huh? But that's just the reality, right? Human nature is fickle. This is the truth. This is the space we live in. But there's this cool, like, backdoor that's developed you can make them available for wide release in the metaverse without taking the cultural penalty, right? So I think consumers flock to the retail stores in NBA 2K to purchase items in exactly the same way we do in real life, but the product supply is unlimited. So it completely removes the barriers. One, you can make as many as you want. You can scale it up or scale it down. If I want to make one, cool, it's a one of one. If I want to make 1 million of this sneaker tonight, I can decide. It's a button press. Yeah. Versus having to, again, literally produce, how do you get those sneakers to Indonesia? It costs so much money, right? And in fact, it becomes barriers, and that's why we just don't go there, right? And then again, even if you could accomplish that, once everybody has it, does Quavo want to wear the same sneakers as every hype beast in the 8th grade in whatever country? You know what I mean? It kills it. The metaverse is a whole different place where, for whatever reason, culturally, as I've observed, and interested to hear your guys' insights on this, it doesn't seem to be the same. If they made the Dior Jordans available on NBA 2K, and I logged on, and for some reason everybody was wearing the Dior Jordans, that wouldn't make them any less cool. In fact, that would make them even cooler to me, right? Yeah. It's like all these people that could never get them in real life wish they could, right? So you have the opportunity, J-Bo, like you were saying before. Yeah. You dress your guy, you dress your avatar in things that you actually care about. You might spend a 10 spot. So, like, again, I don't have 12 grand to cop those Dior Jordans, but I really want them, and they're still a flex. I might spend a 10 spot to have them on 2K. I also might spend a 250 spot to have them on 2K. Yeah. Right? Like the heirlooms we do on Apex, $200. $200 to have them. And people do that, and when they don't, they regret it. They wish they did. It's worth $200.
That's crazy. You put that into a good context for me, because before I was like, but then when you said it for an heirloom, I was like,
you just caught Rampart, didn't you?
I was like, all right, that's a good point.
Again, using 2K as the best example, because it's everything tied in. Using 2K as the platform to communicate, but these ideas are not housed to just NBA 2K. They exist everywhere.Maybe it's an heirloom, whatever it is. Again, it's created this whole new ability for us to sell products and services that we are creating and marketing as brands, right? But here's a whole different way to sell them, or like we said before, sell you the same product twice, which is just incredible from a sales perspective. Yeah, really exciting.
Or 3 times if you're a rock star.
Every month. Again, think about how cool it would be to sell. I was going to put this into membership when I just fell off the priorities list. Imagine selling someone an evolving product. What if you had a sneaker, like we said Air Force One? What if you had an Air Force One subscription on the metaverse, where you could always, like, I own Air Force Ones and the product evolves. So rather, like, I'll pay you monthly. You guys update it. You guys give me the new designs or give me the new shit online. We'll get there as we're closing out, but pretty exciting when we think about how to sell. I'll sell it to you every month. Give me that credit card. We'll get back to that in a moment. That's where we'll round out, but I want to touch on supply first, because this one's exciting, and this was like my favorite class in business school. It's like supply chain. But either way, so supply, we want to explore the problem that is bots. So we've already been talking about hype product for a little while. Yeah. We all know the experience, exclusive product drop, get there early for the raffle. You wait an hour, like, in line, and then you get that, like, nice try, next time, not selected. And it's a terrible experience. It's funny, when I used to engage more in this, like, sneaker drop hype culture, I would have, my phone's open and my laptop and my other laptop, all my browsers are open. So I'm in line 6 times. And then on maybe my other phone, I'm on Twitter, just going back and forth with other people doing the same thing as me. And we're basically talking shit, right? We're talking shit about the Snkrs app. We're talking about the Adidas app or the, whatever website network, wherever we are. We're like, man, it's just trash. The bots get it every time. You literally commiserate, and it becomes an experience. Like, that's a joke, right? You guys know, like, the Snkrs, like not this time. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, that image is become a meme. So we all know that experience, and it's interesting because it starts to turn people off, right? Like, that's why I stopped doing the sneakers thing. Is like, what's the point? I don't have time for this. I would rather just know people or go and find them. Like, I'm not going to engage in that community. So you start to take a brand hit over time by not giving people how unfortunate, how off-putting it is when you're like, man, I waited for those. I did everything I should have, and I see what's his name's, Nike VP's son has 500 pair of the shoe I couldn't get, and it's like, yeah, there's nothing you can do.
Nothing.
And that really it turns you off from a brand. It's what happened with me. I am so ready for a brand to flip this experience by gamifying it. And I've been pitching this for years, just not getting picked up. Imagine if we made the waiting room a gamified concept, right? Not overly complex, but in a way that requires human interaction and creates excitement. So like Anton, you're talking about the Gatorade games earlier. There's a difference between simulation games and arcade games. I mean, arcade style. This doesn't need to be, I don't need this to be Far Cry 6 on my loading screen, right? Not overly complex, but again, in a way that weeds out bots, in a way that requires human interaction that you can measure. So we start to take our new algorithms to cut out these people and these multiple entries. We cut them out in a way that's fun and engaging, right? You make it themed, obviously, have something to do with whatever product you're selling. And there's not a better way to verify real people, right? This sounds to me like the best way to verify real humans, but it gets even better because, one, it completely eliminates that negative experience we talked about. Remember that, like, now I hated this, I didn't get the shoes, I interacted with X brand, and now I'm kind of pissed at your brand because you guys wasted my time. This cuts that whole thing out, and it opens up a new opportunity for it to get really fun, which is what games are about, right? So what if we had this experience where we gamify the waiting room for an exclusive product and we open it up to winners of the game, right? Whoever beats the game or whoever gets the three highest scorers of X arcade game get the Dior Jordans for free, right? Could you imagine how many consumers would show up just for a chance at their dream product? How many people know off the top, I want the Dior Jordans and I can't afford them? There's no point. I don't have $350. I don't have $400. Even the pre-resale price, I don't have for retail price. I'm not even going to go to the website. This opens up when we talk about marketing and membership and how do we increase traffic and just get people to have a fun experience with our brand. Here it is, right? Those same consumers would absolutely show up for a chance at their dream product. It couldn't hurt at all. They show up, they engage with their community, and you have a chance to get the shoe. So you imagine, what kind of marketing do you get? We talk about that biggest proponent. What kind of marketing efforts do you get from the kid or kids that win? Right? Now you have social media content to feature. We dropped the shoe and look, here are the 3 kids that won this shoe that nobody can get. So maybe next time you guys should come and try it too. That could be you. We're starting to grow and we're expanding the user base that comes to our raffles and comes to our drops and signs up for our membership and opens our app, versus making it more and more and more exclusive in a way that doesn't hurt, right? It doesn't hurt our cultural credibility. In fact, it just shows that we understand it. So it solves our bot issues and creates an enjoyable experience out of the nightmare that is the waiting room platform that so many brands use today.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah,
I would
run to that. I mean, I know it's not the same, but I just think about the little trivia on 2K. Everybody pulling out their phones and they're trying to do all the trivia.
Just like
and then for some VC at the end.
Arcade.
Yeah, just those little mini games, man. Like, I know, bro.
So quickly.
I know I would have people that wouldn't even care for the shoe, but to know that they have an opportunity to get the shoe would still go and try it. Like, you know, and they might get the shoe for someone else, but that opportunity, and
that's
I think of my bad. I think of I mean, even sticking on 2K, they had the legend thing before. The first person to get 99 overall got the legend status, and then they got the next copy of the game early for free, and then their name was on like the wall, the Hall of Fame wall or whatever it was. So that was like a big incentive for people too. It's like, hey, if the first to 99 gets goated for, you know what I mean, for that year of the video game.
Right, like the people that engage with your game, product, service, brand the most, reward them, pick them up, use them, because like I said before, they are the most talkative. Those are your biggest brand megaphones, and this allows us to start to open up the doors, right, to bring in more of those people, because unfortunately a lot of them are left out. And that becomes a problem, and it can be hard to identify them. But I really think that this opens up that opportunity, and again, it gamifies it in a fun way. Javo, you were saying like the trivia in 2K. So there's that moment in the city or in the park where it's at like a real time. So it'll be like 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock Eastern, 3 Eastern,
6 o'clock.
Noon Pacific. Everybody like stops in the park. Like you stop playing your games and everyone logs into their like digital iPhone in the game. And there's a trivia game, and you all hang in there, and it shows you round after round. And what do the winners get? VC, digital currency?
Yeah, it changes every time, but like usually it's like 500,000 VC to whatever pool, like whatever the percentage of winners are, that whoever wins, they like split it.
Got it.
But could you imagine doing a sneaker drop there? Like we're going to give away a one of one or one version of this newest sneaker drop to whichever team wins trivia in 2K. That would go nuts.
Yep.
That would go nuts.
Yep.
It's there, bro. It's there.
Break the game.
So I want to try and bring it home here if I can. Well, let's see if I can. That's good there. So, what's the most exciting opportunity coming out of this talk? Out of all of this talk for brands and businesses, I guess it depends on the business. But for me, it's got to be this arms race that's developed as we build the metaverse. So everything we've talked about, and I keep saying like, we'll end there. Everything you guys are mentioning, like, I think it all lives and comes back to those building blocks. Like who is going to build the metaverse? That's where this opportunity lives. So there are incredible companies sprouting up almost every day. Like I'm finding them all over the place. Artifact, I've shared with you guys, Genies, Ready Player Me, and Geer, that I believe are the future of consumer experience. Not digital consumer experience, not the future of the metaverse. I think these brands are the base and the building blocks again for the future of consumer experience, period. So if you're down with it, we'll take a quick look at Geer.
Yeah.
Show you guys what I'm talking about. Let me know if you can hear everything all smooth. Here we go.
Brands are important. They represent who we are, what we believe in, and how we interact with others. With the explosion of video games, our digital identity is becoming increasingly important. And what better way to express our digital selves than with the brands we love? But where are the brands? Today, bringing just one brand into a game is an uphill battle, often one-off deals taking months to accomplish. There's no scalable tech and no easy way for brands and games to find each other, negotiate, and ultimately monetize. Enter Geer, the very first platform built in partnership with GM, designed to bring authentic branded products into games at scale. Fans and games now have a place to easily connect, negotiate, monetize, and track digital products, cutting the process from months to hours. With Geer, games get more engaged users, higher MAUs, and grow revenues, while brands get a new channel for growth.
Sexy, right?
And players can finally enjoy the brands they love in the games they play, while getting gift cards for using branded products in games.
Wow.
The future is digital, and it's branded. Join the movement and get into Geer.
Geer.
All right, you guys clearly get it. I heard a wow. Yes, Geer. But again, dude. So there are a few of these brands. This is the one I think that maybe makes me the most excited, because a lot of them are about like people, but you get it. This is about the integration. So back to this arms race and why this is so exciting for brands today. It's all about them and their value, like brand value, right? So not to say anyone can do this, like not to say anyone can be who Geer is or Genies or whatever, but the tech and the concepts exist on their own, right? Like I don't think Geer invented this concept. It's already there. What will make these platforms most valuable is the cultural currency, right? So here's an example. You think anyone can open like a sneaker store. Like anybody, if you wanted to, you can just, this is my storefront, it's going to be a sneaker store. But the store with Nike and Adidas will like the contracts there will outperform a store with knockoff brands, right? If you go, it's like what's famous footwear versus Champs Sports, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe Payless versus Champs or something like that. Foot Locker versus Payless.
LA Gears.
It's right. It's a huge disconnect, right? So it's not just about making the products. You have to make products that people want. That means existing brands have so much power here, you guys. It would be wise for them all to take lessons from what, here's a good one, from what we learned in the music industry. You guys remember Spotify brought along a revolution, right? After we went into the Napster era and everyone was downloading music industry was dead. Spotify brings along this revolution. We got it. We've got this tech, the concept, streaming music. We need to have one marketplace where we can put it all together and people can come to purchase this, right? They can come and interact with the music, but they didn't own any of the music, right? So like we can create the tech, we can make the sneaker store, but we don't have any of the cool sneakers. We actually have to go to the brands that have that. So they had to go to the record labels, right? Mm-hmm. And what happens is the record labels were like, well, that's great. You cannot do this without us. So you're going to have to fork over ownership. So all three of them, Universal, Sony, and Warner, all own majority stakes in Spotify, right? And people don't know that, but it's like, well, it's not just about having the stove. You have to have the food to cook on the stove. So this arms race, Geer, Genies, Artifact, all these new tech brands that are developing, they're the stove, they're the store, they're the platform, which is super exciting. But IP is king, right? As the tech is going to continue to evolve, but the power is always going to be in the intellectual property. It's going to be in the art. It's going to be in the history and in the culture. So I say all that because brands like Geer are right now changing the world. But they need brands like Apple, Nike, the Lakers, right? These established cultural icons to make them verifiable, to make them matter, to make them the store that we all go to. There are new stores opening up all over the internet, and the race now is to become the one that has the brands, that has the partnerships, that has the relationships, and can touch the people. So all of these components are being tied together. Keep your eyes out for more events like Travis Scott's Astronomical, right? That brings them all together in one spot. And I think the future of business and gaming is beautiful.
Are they doing EDC on Fortnite?
It's on Roblox.
I think it's on right now. Roblox, yeah.
It's on Roblox, bro. My kids, my daughters jumped in last night, and it was hilarious, man. They were just like,
I'm really happy you said that.
Yeah, they you go in, and they have to meet like a little bot that's already there that tells them like the activities that they can do. So there's like multiple stages, and there's like mini games within it, like racing and whatnot. And they give you a little scooter and different emotes that get you dancing, like fist pumping.
How is security?
Apparently, you can exchange. Right. Apparently, it seems pretty light. Elite. They got elite security.
Top flight
funny. They have. It looks like you can exchange like candies. It hasn't happened, but it had like a little ticker of like how many candy beads have you collected.
They got the little. You can do the plur. What's the hand
I
thing?
haven't seen them actually like try to exchange,
I haven't done that
but
in a decade.
Right.
Yeah, I'm so happy you said
it's
that,
pretty
bro.
cool, though.
That goes to the point that we were saying, though, right? So there are so many of these dance parties on Roblox. There are hundreds of them at this point. But which one are we talking about and why? We're talking about the EDC one. Why? Because EDC has relevance to us culturally. We went to EDC, right? And when it was coming up and starting and going. When we were younger people, we were going. It still is in our orbit now. We have friends at EDC today. So why are we talking about, and why are our kids going to this Roblox party? Because they were able to partner with something relevant and culturally impactful in real life, which is exactly what we're talking about here. It's for those brands like Roblox and Geer to understand what partners to work with, right? Like, again, Apple, Nike, Dior, and EDC. It's happening in front of us now, but the building blocks are really clear when we start to break it down and look at it, and it makes it super exciting for the future.
Except Pasquale be proud.
Babies at EDC. Who would have thought?
Babies at EDC, bro. Head banging. The music was slapping yesterday.
That might be a little bit problematic, if I'm being honest.
That's the episode name right there. Babies at EDC.
Babies at EDC.
Shoot. Cool. I appreciate it. That's all we got for business in this deep dive.
Great dive.
That was good.